Welcome, Guardians. Today, we're going to discuss sniping in Destiny 2. Do's, don'ts, and everything in between. I've seen an uptick in sniper questions generally, and especially since the announcement of the Revoker, as people prepare to try their hand at obtaining it themselves. For reference, it's currently mid-season of Opulence, Season 7, so some things may change in the future. For example, if you're seeing this in Shadowkeep, there will likely be more sniper options available. If you feel it's relevant or want to quantify me, my DTR stats are on screen now, the current DTR stats. They'll be linked in the description, and you'll see plenty of gameplay. I consider myself solid, but there are plenty of people better than me. Here I'm just going to flash up the structure of the video so you can kind of see what the itinerary for us today is. And with that, let's get into this. So let me start with the nature of snipers. They're an intrinsically high-risk, high-reward weapon. In the right hands, they offer infinite range one-hit kills, which allow you to dominate a ridiculous area of the map. The trade-off is that they demand an extremely high level of accuracy, are intrinsically more ammo limited than other special weapon classes, and are comparatively very difficult to succeed with in open gunfights or CQC. Your skill with a sniper is made or broken by your ability to land your shot first and to hit it. So to sum up, the benefits of snipers are instant kills, infinite range, higher zoom to let you use that range, and high outgoing flinch. The downsides are high incoming flinch, a lack of reload perks like slide shot or autoloading holster, coupled with long reload times, limited ammo availability due to their range, higher zoom that makes CQC harder, and a low flinch uptime to win open gunfights. The outcome of these characteristics is that you can easily win any fight if you can land the first shot accurately. This hyper-focus on accuracy and speed means that aim practice is incredibly important, much more so than with any other weapon type. If you want ways to do that, hit up my previous Crucible class on aim training. In short, hit up Lost Sectors to work on pure speed and accuracy, then practice with friends or in quick play to work on prediction and applying your skills. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. So let's go over good snipers to use, from meta archetypes to exceptions, if you don't know where to start. Archetype-wise, there are rapid-fire, adaptive, and aggressive snipers. In general, rapid-fires are the shortest range, highest capacity, and fastest reloading, while aggressives are longer range, low capacity, and slow reloading. In terms of shots to kill, all snipers will one-hit to the head or two-hit to the body. No archetype can one-hit supers to the head without damage buffs. Of note, aggressive snipers can one-hit guardians to the body with a damage buff, such as Empowering Rift, Inertia Override, or Kill Clip. Adaptive and aggressive snipes can one-hit supers to the head with box breathing. In terms of fire rates, rapid fires shoot at 140 RPM, like adaptive hand cannons, an example would be Ace of Spades, and slightly slower than high-impact scout rifles, for example Jade Rabbit. Adaptives shoot at 90 RPM, and aggressives at 72 RPM. Due to this discrepancy, rapid fires are currently the most meta archetype. Their ability to one-hit headshot or land a fast two-hit body shot if you miss your opponent's head is simply too much to pass up. When you add in the fact that they have a 6-round magazine by default, it's very difficult to argue the case of any other archetype. A note here for my console brethren, rapid-fire snipers are the lowest range of the different options. This is relevant to you as range determines the aim assist drop-off of your sniper. So if you're out of range, you won't have the benefit of any AA slowdown stickiness to help you. I still think it's worth it, and I'll go over that later. But just note that if you're using a Twilight Oath at the longest possible range in the game across Equinox or something, it might be kinda hard to hit with that. In terms of perks, the most important thing on any sniper is a fast ADS time. This allows you to be much more situationally aware by coming out of scope to check radar, and allows for much more aggressive play, rather than only holding long angles. As you might expect, Snapshot is incredible here. If you can't get it, Quick Draw will suffice, though as I've said before, you can Quick Draw glitch, so Snapshot is the king here. Other notable perks are Opening Shot, top tier, but Snapshot takes priority. This increases your headshot hitbox size significantly. Another one to note is Box Breathing. This gives you a bigger head hitbox like Opening Shot after about 1.5 seconds. And in the case of adaptive and aggressive snipers, allows you to one-hit supers to the head. Moving Target significantly ups your strafe speed in scope, helping you be a more difficult target and also letting you strafe to get your reticle on the enemy more as an aiming method, a la Halo. No distractions is valued by some people, though in my opinion you need to focus on landing your shot first, and I don't personally feel like it does a huge amount in realistic gameplay terms to let you land shots under fire. Snipers generally don't have that much access to reload perks, but in the future when more options are available, slide shot or autoloading would be decent choices. If you're on controller, a range perk like Accurized Rounds could be helpful to push your aim assist envelope as well. Overall, people put far too much stock into Masterworks, but if you had to pick, handling is almost always the best choice. Barring that, I would personally want reload speed. Again on controller, consider range. For actual snipers, I'm going to give you a kinetic and energy option that's random rolled, and then also a year 1 fixed roll option or universally and easily obtainable alternative for no DLC players, for example. Though these will more apply to the current Season 7. First up, rapid fires. For kinetic, you're going to want a Supremacy with Snapshot or Alone as a God. For energy, you want Twilight Oath, specifically the curated role, as this is the only version of the sniper that has Snapshot, or the Ikelos sniper. This one doesn't have Snapshot, but it has box breathing and a very high handling stat, so its scope in time is pretty good anyway. For adaptives, we don't have great options for the kinetic. We have Long Shadow, which is Snapshot, but has high zoom, and Akin LR2, which again has Snapshot, but has relatively high zoom. For energies, we have Soul Survivor with Snapshot opening shot, Beloved with Snapshot box breathing, and Fate Cries Foul with Snapshot. For aggressives, for kinetics, we have Bite of the Fox with Snapshot opening shot, and Revoker from the comp playlist. For energy, again, not some great options here, but we've got Tatara Gaze with Snapshot opening shot, and the Valletta D. I'll just cover special exotics before I go on to mods. Borealis is passable. It's an aggressive with 4 shots in the mag, solid handling, and high AA. If you like it on controller, it can be fine, but it's overall not worth it on PC. The exotic perk is far too situational. Izanagi's Burden is your other option. This one has some credence. It's an adaptive with Outlaw, and allows you to one-hit supers to the head with 2 times Honed Edge. This means you can die, spawn with your 2 sniper bullets, activate Honed Edge, and one-hit the super that's farming your blueberries. Additionally, you can also use your entire magazine of 4 to one-shot someone in the body. This overall isn't really worth it, because realistically you should be aiming to get to the point where you can get more than 1 kill with 4 bullets in your magazine, so it's just not really worth the toss-up. Let's talk mods. Your main options are going to be Targeting Adjuster or Icarus. There can be a situational case made for freehand grip. Icarus lets you be very accurate in the air. This lets you incorporate odd, unpredictable movements into your sniping and allows you to peek some odd angles. The problem is that snipers have odd scope-in animations and reticle movements in the air, depending on things like your movement direction or how soon it was since you activated your last jump. This makes jump shots more awkward to utilize than might be expected or experienced in other games where they're viable, for example in Call of Duty. Targeting Adjuster increases your head hitbox sizes by about 1 pixel all around the standard dot reticle. This means instead of your reticle slightly overlapping the outer pixel of someone's head, the outer edge of it now just needs to touch the outer pixel of their head. This isn't a massive difference, but it's an easy, universally relevant mod. There may be diminishing returns when stacking this with an enhanced sniper targeting helmet. Freehand grip, on the other hand, decreases the spread of your sniper hip fire. This allows you to more easily use your sniper like a shotgun in close range. It's high time we talked about zoom levels. Different snipers have different scopes, and also different base zoom levels tied to the gun. This means that the size of objects in your scope are going to differ between snipers, and it will also affect the speed with which you can turn, i.e. move your reticle when you're scoped in. This is an issue because you will build muscle memory with a specific zoom level when you use a sniper. If you switch to a different zoom level, your body will have to adapt to the extra time or less time that it takes to flick your reticle to where you want it. In general, a high zoom scope, i.e. more magnification, bigger enemies, is going to help you snipe at very long ranges, whereas a lower zoom one will allow you to use your sniper more effectively at close range. The issue with this is that Destiny 2 maps tend to be quite small with a lot of tight geometry. This means that there is less reason to use a long zoom scope, as you may be more effective in the single long lane of the map, but you are less effective everywhere else. We're always looking for maximum lethality here. So additionally, with a short zoom scope, I can practice and get better at hitting those visually smaller targets at long range, whereas I can't out-practice the issues I'll have dealing with high zoom scopes and the relative low sensitivity at close range. It's a simple hard fact that on a controller, you have a max turn speed that's slower with a higher zoom scope if you're ADS'd. This means you can't flick faster than that speed or move your scope faster at close range. On a mousepad, I only have so much room. I might have to swipe across my whole mousepad for a close range flick with a short zoom, but twice across the pad at high zoom, which is just slower and less accurate. Due to these factors, I think everyone should switch to a low zoom sniper once they're comfortable. The lowest zoom options are Twilight Oath and Revoker with 35 zoom. Decent 40 zoom options are Supremacy, Beloved, Soul Survivor, and Bite of the Fox. Bite of the Fox is technically 43, but it's close enough. This allows you to become as effective as possible at the difficult part of sniping, which is doing it while under pressure at close range. Next up, let's go over weapon pairings. With any loadout that you use, you want to cover the greatest number of ranges that you can. You can sometimes get away with going all in on close range, as the maps are close range, and with solid positioning and knowledge of what fights to take and leave, you can play entirely in that close range. You never want to go all in on long range, however. The problem with doing this is that you can't rely on your teammates to never die. Thus, you can lose control of your current area of the map no matter how well you play. It's a simple fact that you can't look and shoot in two directions at once, so two enemies can push you while more are coming from behind you, and there's no way for you to stop the pinch from forcing you into CQC. For this reason, you never want to adopt the dreaded pulse rifle or scout rifle plus sniper loadout. Don't ever let me catch you doing that nonsense. First off, a sniper is a high-risk, high-reward weapon. I can get away with using a pulse rifle and a shotgun, as I have lots of access to special ammo from my shotty as it kills people next to me. It doesn't matter that my pulse rifle sucks in CQC, as I will almost always have my shotgun online to help. A sniper, on the other hand, is inherently ammo limited. If I kill somebody 20 meters away with my last round, I have to run over there to get the ammo, and it may well be in a dangerous place. If all I have is an effective close-range primary, like a sidearm or SMG, how am I supposed to fight my way to that ammo against people at anything except CQC range? Not to mention that then I'm flirting with being one hit by a shotty. Due to these factors, you generally want to pair a sniper with a mid-range weapon. Our options here are hand cannons and auto rifles. These are the two versatile mid-range primaries in Destiny 2. The problem is that auto rifles are awful in the current meta. We're left with hand cannons. Whew! Thank goodness, they're my favorite weapon type. So what hand cannons are the best ones then? Well, here we come upon the most iconic sniper sidearm, the Last Word. It's a hand cannon focused more on the close range end of the spectrum. It has a faster kill time than any other hand cannon in the game, and it looks sexy as hell. It's the perfect pairing with any sniper. If that's not an option, 150 hand cannons are your next port of call. The main options being Thorn, Spare Rations, Rose, Waking Vigil, and Luna are not forgotten, more if you happen to be a controller person. 140 options generally aren't recommended with a sniper, as they lose duels to 150s, and they're more focused on the long end of mid-range, but I would make an exception for Ace of Spades. It's just too well-rounded and good in almost every way, except the fire rate to miss a mention. If you're on controller, I might consider 180 hand cannons if you aren't comfortable counteracting Bloom, etc. On PC, don't touch them. The kill time is way too bad to consider them. Let's go for a brief armor overview. On your helmet, sniper targeting, precision weapon targeting, or hand cannon weapon targeting would be your main options. Remote connection is a potential pick as well, but I tend to focus on improving my ability to get kills, not benefits from them. On gauntlets, you want to consider Reloader for your primary choice, and you want Sniper Scavenger above all else. Your chest doesn't really matter. Unflinching perks do very, very little, so I just throw on Sniper or Hand Cannon Unflinching. Might as well. Legs again don't matter much. Personally, I like Traction for the extra mobility point, but leg perks in general aren't incredibly useful. For class item, you're going to want Recuperation for critical health when you need it. It's the only one of the perk choices that you'll actually feel and will consistently save you from time to time. Again, the critical thing here is Snipe Scavenger. You really want to focus on getting 2 Sniper Scavenger to offset your lack of ammo availability in-game. One of the critical things in terms of what you actually do gameplay-wise when sniping is setting yourself up for success. For one, sniping is high risk, so let's try and mitigate that. If you don't at least get a hit, if not a headshot with that first shot, you probably lose the fight if you stay. This makes our positioning very important. All the fundamentals like staying tight to corners, not over pushing, and watching our angles become even more important if we need to disengage. Secondly, you want to pre-aim. The ideal scenario is that the enemy just walks their head into your scope without you moving it at all, and you just click. To get closer to this scenario, you want to almost always aim at enemy head height when you're scoping a corner. Then they either walk into your shot, or you only have to move laterally. The only change would be if they slide or crouch out. This applies as well if you're strafing out into the lane to take a shot. Aim at where they're going to be beforehand, and get ahead in the OODA loop. Next up is movement. This is less relevant with a sniper than, say, with a shotgun, but the main thing here is to make yourself harder to hit, whether the enemy is a sniper or a primary. To do that, once you're comfortable, you want to work on your slide snipes. This will allow you to be a very difficult target as you enter a lane and take your shot, instead of just strafing out. This technique makes massive use of your practice pre-aiming, as failure to do so will have you dragging your reticle across the screen huge distances to flick to the enemy's head. This is also a perfect example of why snapshot is absolutely critical on a sniper. The more time you're scoped in as you slide, the more time you have to process before your flick. The second main thing is that crouching erratically and strafing erratically, just like in a hand cannon or a pulse duel, can be quite effective in sniper duels. I'm not going to go in depth here, as the previous Crucible class covered this topic. This is especially effective with snipers, as usually both of you are going for the headshot, and them missing one shot gives you a massive window of advantage to get the kill. Let's talk a tad about angles. As a sniper is a weapon massively benefited by getting the first shot, this means that it's extremely effective as a surprise or ambush weapon. This is why snipers often hold angles and let enemies come to them. The most vulnerable state an enemy can be in is running towards you while you're pre-scoped and ready for them, or strafing around the corner that you're looking at while you're ready. Even better than this is if they don't know that you're there. You're not being where an enemy expects buys you time to calculate and land your shot. To this end, learning weird tight angles and sightlines on maps can offer some benefit as you practice sniping. Or, when you're in game, simply think about where or how most people engage a particular sightline and how you could do it differently while staying safe. Here I need to talk about tunnel vision. This is the death of many a sniper. I'm sure you've had a moment where you pop around a corner having just hunted down a radar ping, shotgun at the ready, and then laugh as you see a sniper aiming in the opposite direction, lost in their scope. When you're sniping, as a general rule, you aren't going to want to sit in scope for more than about 2 to 4 seconds. That's the kind of frequency with which you need to check the radar to avoid being flanked. Remember that movement is comparatively fast in this game, and you need to pay attention to where your blueberries are dying. Also, remember that enemy blueberries sometimes do stupid things, like YOLO through your team to try and get you because they saw you first and didn't see your teammates. Or sometimes your team does stupid things like letting them, rather than controlling the map. You can break that 2 to 4 second rule more as you get more comfortable with your game sense, but even then, it's rare that I would be scoped for say 7 to 8 seconds outside of comp where I have a teammate call, or my role might be to hold a specific angle as we dig in. Finally, we'll cover some class-specific stuff, exotics, subclasses, you know, the usual. So on Hunter, for subclasses, Flawless Execution has massive synergy with Sniping, alongside a great super, smoke nades, and potential to use Kepri's Sting, making it a fantastic option for snipers in general. These clips should speak for themselves. Top Tree Night Stalker offers some interesting options with its invis role when using a Paragon build. It is decidedly annoying dealing with snipers who are invis every time that you enter a fight, especially if you're trying to snipe them as well. For this, you sacrifice having a good super. Other than that, nothing offers particular advantages, so any of the normal good subclasses would apply. Exotic-wise, you have lots of choice here. The main notable thing is Dragon's Shadow. The strafe speed and reload speed can help you, plus you can reload your sniper in your back pocket while keeping your hand cannon ready. Apart from that, nothing offers particular sniper synergy that's worth it, so any of your normal options are solid. For Warlock, subclass-wise, the only one here with particular synergy is Nova Warp due to its neutral game. Its shotgun grenade and high melee damage give you a suite of buffs to close range, helping you be more effective when you don't have sniper ammo and rounding out your kit, especially against things like shotgun one-hits in CQC. Other than that, again, nothing particularly offers any synergy, so any other solid subclass option is fine. Exotic-wise, Controverse Hold can take that previously mentioned Nova Warp close range game and ratchet it to 11. These give you a crazy strong base to fight in CQC while keeping your long range snipe potential. Transversives offer a neutral game while letting you move and reload as you reposition. Sanguine Alchemy gives you budget wall hacks in your Rift, but makes you stationary. If you want to play around empowering body shots, the Stag will help you have more uptime. Wings of Sacred Dawn can actually offer a lot of very interesting angle and aerial play when used with Top Tree Dawnblade and a snipe. It takes a lot of getting used to, and it opens some options while closing others. Ophidians are bad. I showed this in a previous video. Don't at me. Titan-wise, for subclasses, Inertia Override allows you to one-hit with aggressive frames, and gives you pseudo slide shot on special weapons, allowing for some specific sniper synergy. Other than this, I would gravitate to Bottom Tree Striker. The class is insanely good, but its close range focused neutral game makes you a powerhouse when you don't have sniper ammo, once again just like the Warlock. Rounding out your kit. Exotic wise, One-Eyed Mask obviously. Enemy shoots you, they're tracked by the NSA, you have their zip code, and you can dome them as they re-peek or chase you. Nothing else offers particular sniper synergy, and One-Eyed Mask is just far better than any of the other exotics on Titan. Antaeus wards could potentially let you slide snipe while being completely safe to retribution, but this is some very tight timing on the flicks. We've come to the end, finally. That was a lot to cover. I hope this helped you, or has given you a starting point if you're new to sniping, some things to practice or consider if you're intermediate, and been interesting background noise I guess if you're advanced. Get out there and practice, remember to have fun, and nothing else in the game really feels as satisfying as landing rapid sniper headshots, so go hit some clips. If you enjoyed the video, drop me a like, and if you want to see more, consider subscribing.